Obviously, the Galaxy S9 Plus is a capable phone. In fact, by most metrics, it's the most powerful mobile phone on the planet. So one of the big questions I've been getting is, what is the gaming experience like? It has maybe the best and brightest display ever seen on a smartphone and vastly improved surround sound speakers, which make it on one hand blissfully immersive. But there is a little bit more to it, so we're going to go through a series of games getting more and more demanding, and we've got some pretty interesting findings. Alright, so I'm rocking the S9 Plus, which by default has 6GB of RAM, and this is the Exynos 9810 version. And the expectation is that this is a little faster than the Snapdragon version, but performance is roughly on par. Starting things off with a 2D game like Flippy Knife, obviously performance is silky smooth. You're getting 60 frames per second without a hitch. But one thing you may not have guessed is that whilst the display is head-on, one of the brightest and most beautifully colourful displays that makes even 2D games shine, it suffers from a serious amount of glare. If you're outdoors with this phone and you tilt it severely in any direction, the screen becomes much less easy to read. Now bear in mind, this is a problem that occurs with a lot of smartphones. This is not unique to the Galaxy S9, but it's particularly noticeable on this one, and the effect is a little bit more severe. As you expected, stepping it up to a top-down 3D game like Skyforce Reloaded, the S9 Plus kills that too. But so did the last generation of phones. One thing a side-by-side like this does bring to attention though is speaker quality. The S9 Plus has a dual speaker arrangement, with the downwards firing and the earpiece both working together. And the earpiece is louder than you'd expect, louder than a lot of other phones using this arrangement, so you actually get a nice, balanced, directional audio. It is still not loud enough to enjoy outdoors properly, but it's a huge improvement over the Galaxy S8. Pokemon Go is a perfect example of how certain games perform poorly no matter what you're using. So far in this video, the S9 Plus has proved to be a very powerful tool, but no amount of power can account for poor optimization. The fact of the matter is, especially with the Android platform, there are certain games that just won't run well no matter what device you're using. Playing Tekken for the first time, and I noticed a rather unexpected benefit of having this more powerful system on a chip, being blazing fast loading times. And given the new Snapdragon 845 and the Exynos 9810 are about 30 to 40% faster than the last generation, this kinda makes sense. But also what you realise when you play these games is that many of them don't natively support the phone's unusually tall 18.5 to 9 aspect ratio. But the S9 comes with game tools, a set of little tricks the phone can use to do things like full screen immersion mode, even when the apps don't natively support it. And this seemed to not cause any problems with about 80% of the games I tried, so a lot of the time when you don't think you can play in full screen, you actually can. Alright, kicking this up another level, we have got Afterpulse, which actually plays similar on 2017 flagships. Generally speaking, both can maintain the solid 30 frames per second cap. But the difference here is that with older phones, whereas the frame rate might dip in heavy action sequences, that just doesn't happen here. This new generation of system on a chips just has more headroom to work with, so you'll find a more consistent minimum frame rate in top tier games, which does result in a noticeably smoother experience. But you will only notice this on occasions. Okay, but as mobile devices are getting rapidly more powerful, the games available aren't necessarily keeping up. So in most of the above scenarios, performance-wise, whilst the S9 flies through these games, it is extremely overkill, and even smartphones from 2 years ago could achieve similar results. The only time this is not the case is super high-end gaming. This is where the divergence occurs. For example, taking a segment from Antutu, the S9 Plus is miles ahead of the Snapdragon 835 in the OnePlus 5T on the right. It's not close at all, and the benefit of the new chips is immediately clear here. I guess the only problem is that very few games are this demanding, so the times you will notice this difference are minimal. One appreciated feature, which was also in the Galaxy S8, was the ability to lower display resolution, which can actually boost performance even further and save a little bit of battery in the process. And theoretically here, because of the more efficient chipset, the battery on this phone will be better than last generation. But this is something we're going to test fully in a dedicated battery drain test video, so if you aren't already subscribed, make sure you smash that subscribe button down below, because we've got a lot of cool stuff coming. So whilst it's a little bit too early to make any conclusion on the Galaxy S9's gaming performance, it is a very powerful phone that is going to play every single title out there at least as good, if not better, than previous generations. The brand new speakers hugely complement the gaming experience, and combined with the even brighter display than before, you've got basically the best gaming experience on a mobile phone right now. The only two potential hindrances to this are the fact that perhaps this extra power is wasted on almost every Android game right now, and also the fact that even though this display is so bright, it does suffer from a bit of glare. Alright guys, if you haven't seen our other Samsung Galaxy S9 videos, I'm going to leave them as an end screen to this one. And with that being said, my name is Aaron, this is Mr. Who's the Boss, and I'm signing out.